So,
Okay, so I am Alex. I play Nathan, both young and old.
yes, I'm Joe. I play Richard.
So Nathan and Richard are both 19 when Thrill Me opens, but the narrative is split between an older Nathan, who's about 53, I think, stood in front of his parole board for like the 5th time, trying to convince them that he can be granted for parole and let free back into the world. And it's mixed between that and his interactions with Richard surrounding the murder of Bobby Franks.
Yeah. No, Richard's just evil. And he only gets turned on by crime, which is a very weird situation to be in.
Yeah, there's a lot of like miscommunication.
And so he spends his whole time getting his rocks off, burning down buildings and stealing stuff, and then he's like, why don't we kill a child? And then it goes horribly wrong. Yeah, it's good fun, because, you know, it's like we're all stressed during term time, and it's quite nice to you know, just be evil for an hour or so, and just like, you know, it just give you something to vent your frustrations at.
I guess like it's a scary thing to stop and think about, but because musicals are so dramatic, like so OTT, you really get like an idea of the difference between what Nathan and Richard think they're doing, then like when you see it all start to unravel what's really happened.
Yeah, and then during the second half, the kind of the musical, there's quite a big musical shift.
There's a real sudden sense of like you know, before the murder takes place, neither of them, well, Nathan definitely doesn't actually think that Richard is going to go that far.
There's a line in one of the songs where Richard's like, you know, it didn't seem real to me at the time. So, you know, from their perspective, it's just like they've killed a child, and they're like, oh my god, we just actually killed a child.
Like, their relationship is a constant push and pull for power in different directions, so it's really important that Nathan matches that. And, like, I think, yeah, where Richard is kind of like the bigger personality, the bigger schemer, has all the sort of like adrenaline, and has the advantage that Nathan is absolutely obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Nathan he's kind of more calculating, also very, very possessive, and like the possession of Richard, I think, is really where his side of like the evil comes in, like the lengths that he goes to. Really, really quite scary lengths. Like Thrill Me itself is a really scary song. Because
for context, Thrill Me is the one where Nathan's like, Richard, sleep with me. And Richard's like, no, I'm not in the mood. And Nathan's like, well, I don't care.
Yeah, and it's scary. And it was a difficult scene to pitch right. And then when you get to like old Nathan, you kind of see more of what younger Nathan hides. In that, you know, old Nathan definitely characterizes things in a way that isn't necessarily the case. And there's a few times where you're just really reminded that you're only getting Nathan's perspective on this.
I mean, I like Written Contract because I
fun.
Just get to talk a lot, and I love the sound of my own voice. But also just because it's such a like, so one of the things that happens in the show is that they write a contract basically being like, well, Richard will have sex with Nathan if Nathan helps Richard do crime. I think that's an inherently hilarious premise to a scene. And I think it's really skillful how it's managed to, you know, not quite be absurdly funny, but you know, still be quite tongue-in-cheek and upbeat. So
I guess it's kind of maybe the first time you really see that difference between what they think they're doing and what's really going on.
No, it's true. No, it's
good.
Yeah. Well, we've worked together before, and there's always been a homoerotic subtext to our roles with each other. So it's nice to make it explicit.
But yeah, it's also really cool, like getting to basically make the characters together, because like that dynamic is so important.
Yeah.
I don't think the musical is patronising about it, because you know what they've done is horrible. It kind of takes that dark element, and instead it really looks at like the sort of character drama in it.
A lot of the time, the musical doesn't labour the point that like like they've killed a child. It's more like it's talked about.
I think when it does, it's for a purpose.
Yeah.
Like it highlights like how little of a crap Richard gives about what he's done initially. How apathetic Nathan is originally as well. Like so, it's kind of like when it is brought up in like dark senses, it really says a lot about how messed up they are as individuals.